We're live. Welcome, everybody. I'm here joined today with Bear. Say hello, Bear.
Hello, Bear.
And it's a slightly unfamiliar voice. I've only done a couple of Saytel streams this season. It's going to be Cookie. We're here hosting, at least at the moment, the Gold6v6 semifinal between Toro and Wadafak. And we got these guys rolling off here, and Flamingo's complaining that it's lagging. So what I will do is, just give me 1 second here. Turn off the preview. And I have it pulled up on a different computer as well. I don't have it as being laggy.
Maybe it's them Spanish internets.
Possibly.
Guys, Coyote is COVID, unfortunately. Oops, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Coyote is ill. He has the video. We wish him well and soon recovery. Yeah, as Cookie said, Wadafak versus Toro, the Spanish versus the Czechs. Nice red skin they got there.
Beautiful skin. Oh, there's the 16. He's going up. And he's coming down. And in the little picture-in-picture tag here in the bottom right corner, that's going to be the bullseye with a 40 nautical mile starting bubble size on it. Obviously, that's going to shrink throughout the game. But that just gives you an idea when teams do enter the bubble. I tried my best to make it so you guys could see it quite well, and I'll try and adjust it throughout the game here. But we'll go ahead and look at aircraft lineups going in here. Wadafak is rocking what I believe is going to be 5 F-16s and 1 F-18. F-18s bringing all the sticks as pretty much a standard now. 16s bringing, looks like Anomaly here is bringing a single heater, with the rest being Fox 3s. And it looks like that might be the standard across the entire Wadafak board. Yep, and that would seem so. On the other side, we have Toro bringing all the Hornets. 2, 4 there. And so 5 Hornets and a Tomcat from Toro here.
Plenty of missiles.
Yeah, plenty of missiles from the Toro side. I would assume that they're going to be bringing. And hope see lots of pressure. Seeing that Twitch is not liking the encoding, let me go ahead and tune it down slightly. Let's bring it down to 55. Let's bring it down. Hopefully that makes Twitch. Encoding is wonderfully annoying with Twitch.
Snoov Dangles says, "My God, Cookie, your stream is lagging. Hopefully
Beautiful.
your adjustments will make a difference. Worst case scenario, we stick on F10 map, but we'll try and get some action shots."
Yeah, that should have helped tune it down.
Sounds better now. Sounds better now. What sounds got to do with looks? Check F2.
Also, if nothing to mention, we didn't. I did a quick audio check, so if Bear's too loud, I'm too loud, or the in-game audio is too loud, just go ahead and feel free to let us know. I should have made the correct adjustments there. We should be having a smooth stream now. I do have it pulled up on my laptop here to my right, so I can sort of kind of check the quality in between. But
you, Bear, sound lovely every time. Oh no, that's except when they mute me. What's happening?
My OBS should be nice and happy now, but looks like both teams are nearly all in the bubble. Toro is just lagging behind with their Tomcat slightly. they're getting in here. But let's take a look at altitudes really quickly. Tomcat's only at 9,000 feet. I find that a little bit odd considering what the changes were. It's that Tomcat, that thing should be useful up high and fast, or at least in a medium altitude. The leads from Toro here are ingressing at 14,000 feet. Meanwhile, Wadafak's 3-ship ingress here on the leads are all above at least 20,000 feet. Meanwhile, their trails is a mix. Beef's going to be at 15. Kikaku is going to be the highest there at Angels 2.7. He's coming down a little bit and slides at Angels 2.3. So I'm interested to see how Anomaly is going to deal with the number of the missiles, because they are, I would say, quite out missiled. Each Hornet being able to bring 10 AMRAMs plus 2 heaters. So that's 50 AMRAMs between all the Hornets plus 6 Phoenixes and the Tomcat. That's quite the number. And considering that Wadafak's also bringing, taking off one of those AMRAMs for a heater as well, you're going to be out Fox 3 pretty hard. But we'll see how it goes. It's anybody's game, especially in the playoffs. We've seen quite the mix of teams bringing some stuff in here, so see how this ends up working out. So Toro is taking quite some wide positioning, I'd say. It's almost like a stinger with an extra person in each spot. But first missile's coming out here from Parka, and that appears to be on Anomaly. That's going to be a 120, and the ranges we're going to be looking at here is quite
15, 20 miles.
11 miles. It looks like it was about from Angels 20, so Anomaly is just going to turn cold, and that missile's defeated. Aspar, and excuse me if I mispronounce any names, is going to take the second shot. Pyrox will be taking the next shot after that. Those appear to both be on Enjoy. It looks like they're trying to get some angles there and see if they can get them out early, but it would appear that Enjoy is just going to easily defeat those 2 missiles there. So Toro's 2 lead groups appear to be collapsing towards each other with their rear group still hot. Wadafak just sort of doing the thing there. Got 3 cold, 3 hot. Very stock standard, I'd say.
So it looks like Toro's bunching up. They all look like they're heading towards each other. They had the beautiful champagne or paired champagne in the beginning, and now they're all on top of each other. While Wadafak does look nicely spread with equal numbers cold and hot. Turner down to the south, trying to wiggle his way around the right-hand side, I guess.
Yeah, and these big sort of almost just tactical blobs can be very dangerous because it's very hard to keep track of so many aircraft in such a small area. However, you do keep track of all of the aircraft overall as a general picture, but their states not necessarily as well. You could have some flanking, some cold, some hot, and that can lead to some confusion. So we'll see how Wadafak's going to deal with that. 120 out from Mustang onto Beefed. Don't think that's going to be terribly dangerous here. Once again, Wadafak doing a great job. I don't think Wadafak's launched a single missile yet, have they?
Not one. They have the territory because they're over the bullseye, and I mean they're slowly squeezing Toro towards the edge of the bubble. I'm not mad about Toro being in such a cluster.
Yeah, and the other thing, I mean, the bubble obviously is going to start getting closer to them. So if their long game is to be defensive and have more missiles and just use 1 or 2 just to progressively keep Wadafak from just collapsing on them, then it's a completely valid plan. But you are kind of relying on the fact that Wadafak is also going to use missiles. Otherwise, you're going to end up being at the same missile states anyway. So we'll see how this ends up going. I would have liked to see just a lot of pressure applied from those Hornets early to try and get that positioning, since you have more missiles and you can afford to get Wadafak really uncomfortable early on to put out some missiles that maybe they wouldn't put out had they not been getting so much pressure. But it seems that Toro's going to take a really defensive approach to this match. The first Wadafak missile comes out from Anomaly there. And once again, not really going to do too much, not quite at the right ranges. It appears that most of these are going to be 11 to 12 mile launches. We need to see some stuff that is...
All right. 2 things quickly. Noob Dan, welcome. We'll talk about when we stream a little bit later. Lumen goes TAC view and in-game view are out of sync. Unlikely because it's real time from what we're seeing.
Correct.
Cookie setting up.
Yeah, that should be real time.
It's rather odd. Jump to switch across and let's have a look. See if it's out of sync.
All right, let's jump to attack view. It should be on the money.
Maybe an accidental scroll on the attack view side.
It's the attack view was ahead, but the attack view can't be ahead.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they're back in sync now.
Okay. Well, we will go back.
All right. Okay,
Good.
so there is some good shape. Just looking at the attack view, you can see good shape with the Toro in a nice 3x3 box. So even with the labels, I guess it makes it look a little clustered. But they did seem to have some form of organization in there. That's great.
I do
still
enjoy the Wadafak shape as well. It is
nice and wide.
that's what you want, especially with the way that AMRAMs are sort of working right now. You want to create sort of width to your formation. You want to give more than one angle for people to worry about, because if you're just launching one AMRAM from the same angle every time, then it's just okay. I'm turning 90 or I'm turning cold, and you give them easy ways out. So creating depth to that formation, trying to get people cross sorted to get multiple missiles from different angles, things like that. Definitely the sort of thing you want to try and do if possible. But it looks like we're getting a Phoenix launched here from Pistoia, which I don't think we've seen a Phoenix yet.
This is the first Phoenix out. Yeah, long range.
So first Phoenix out from him. That looks like about 15 miles, I'd say. That might be too much on the deck here, but we'll see. I'm actually going to go ahead and we'll watch this one go in. Yeah, its motor's already out, and that speed is coming down very quickly.
Where is Fernando? Did he not play in this match?
I don't think so.
Oh, wow.
I believe he flies a Tomcat, if I'm correct on that. That is
correct.
Flies as well.
Yeah.
But that Phoenix is going to go ahead and get defeated there. Looks like we had another one out from Pistoia, and Turner's going to go ahead and turn cold. So that is that going to catch him, and that does catch him. So that's the first kill of the game. Pistoia is going to take down Turner there, turning cold to a Phoenix. And that's another thing too, especially with the Phoenix, is you get sort of used to these 120 NES ranges, and you turn cold to what you think is a 120, but it's actually a Phoenix, and it will catch you. It's not quite as bad as it used to be before, but that Phoenix still just has a little bit of edge. So that's definitely something you want to keep in mind, especially when you're fighting a single Tomcat. But more exchanges coming out here from this Southern Toro group onto Enjoy and Kikaku. My expectation is that they will survive this short barrage, and they do. So 2 ship up north from Toro with a 4 ship down south. 5 left on Wadafak. 2 to the north, 3 to the south, sort of offset. They're coming really close together here. And the attack view, let's see if I can give you a better angle, because it is moving south of Bulls. I'm sorry, yeah. Southeast of Bulls. More exchanges, more AMRAMs, and I believe Kikaku does take down a single Toro member there, which I believe was a F-18 from Toro. And also, I did make a mistake earlier. I did say they had 5 Hornets, but they do have a single 16, so... However, still doesn't change the narrative. They are still out. But Wadafak is still out-missiled in this competition here. 120 out from Beefed onto Pistoia. Not sure how that's going to go for him. He seems fine. Pistoia defeats that AMRAM at very close range, putting it possibly into the terrain, possibly in the notch, or a combination of both. But 120 out from Aspar here onto Enjoy. Looks like it's going to get a little bit spicy here down to the south here. Enjoy going to a 90-degree notch. Missile on Enjoy. Mustang, Beefed, exchanging missiles. Enjoy defeats the first one. Beefed and Mustang both exchange. Neither missile hits. Kikaku puts a missile out to Mustang. Looks like we lost one of Wadafak there to possibly terrain. We can go back and take a look at that if possible. Mustang, Anomaly, head-on. Mustang, head-on missile onto Anomaly. Misses. Goes for the Squirrels. Squirrels are down. Pistoia notches another AMRAM. It is 3v4 on the side of Toro here. Kikaku sliding in behind Mustang. Aim 9 out onto Anomaly. Anomaly flaring. Does not defeat that one. 120 out onto Mustang. 120 on Kikaku. Kikaku goes down. Trades out Mustang. Now we're down to a 2v1. Slide. Last one alive versus Aspar and Werewolf. See if we can F5 anything here. Slide 120 out into Aspar. Aspar puts a 120 out in exchange. Slide should have this in the notch or terrain here. There's the missile. Missile is defeated. Werewolf and Aspar. Last two left alive.
Slide's got 2 missiles, right?
Slide has 3 120s left here. And we'll go
Fantastic.
ahead and take a look at the Toro, guys. Single 120 for Aspar. And 2, 4, 5 120s for Werewolf with 2 aim 9s. Slide just cold to the 2 of them. He's going to have to make a play here using this. At least he's going to have to make a terrain. Play with the terrain. He's got to sort of try and disappear and just pop up and at least get 1. And then sort of force a merge is, I think, his best play here. 2v1's a little bit is very difficult, especially when you're going up against the Hornet, because you know he's going to have heaters. And most of the time he's going to have 120, especially if you're in an F-16. You're typically out missile towards the end of the game. So we'll see how this ends up going here. It looks like that Werewolf and Aspar aren't having any problem tracking him. But I feel like Slide is a little bit high here on this recommit. I feel like they definitely know. But I'm not sure how much terrain he has to play with. Werewolf puts out a 120 now. Slide needs to put out one of his own. Slide downhill, trying to force that notch again. Trying to get it to the 90. Will he get into the 90? Looks like he does. AMRAM passes underneath him. Second AMRAM out from the Trail 16 from Toro. He's going to hit the terrain. That was very anticlimactic, I say.
Oh dear. Right, now we've made a boo-boo. Haha. Cookie, this is round 2.
I noticed it was slightly different.
Yes, so
I'd labeled them wrong.
Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, or gentlemen and ladies. This was round 2, not round 1.
Well, nobody's none the wiser, except for the people who played in it.
Exactly. We're terribly sorry about that. What we're going to do is we'll call this the new round 1, and let's see what happens in round 2.
Yeah.
Do you want a quick tac view overview of what happened there? Just
sure, I'll pop the tac view on, and we'll get started unloading the next one as well in the meantime. But
uh, 2000 Zulu, 2100 Zulu. Cookie.
already. So I didn't rewind the tac view before switching the mission, so we lost the tac view from the last time. Unless you have it hot and ready. That would be the second round of that one. If you have that file, I can pop it up. But since I didn't rewind it, it didn't keep it when I switched
Sending it to you now.
Okay, I'll pop that up in a second here.
You've got the tac view.
Thank you.
Of round 2. Yes, once again, apologies, both Toro and Wadafak. That was round 2 by mistake streamed as round 1.
Alrighty. And we'll go ahead and get back into the tac view here and sort of break down what is our new round 1 in this instance. Let me make sure the next round's cooking up, and it is. Okay. Alrighty. So less missiles on the Wadafak side, more missiles on the Toro side. Toro chooses to start in what I think is a sort of defensive strategy, playing for the long game. Wadafak at first is very, very, very reserved with their missiles, which I think is a smart way to go, especially when you're going against a team that has more missiles. But first sort of mistake here happens down here with the Phoenix catching Turner cold. Turner's not exactly very fast here. He's Mach 0.8 in sort of the notch. And it looks like he had it and then decided to turn cold. Not sure what how that decision making goes. Maybe he lost a visual. Maybe he thought and I guess the other thing to worry about too is that Mustang could put a missile on him from another angle as well. I'm not sure if he's keeping that in mind as well, but it appears that's exactly what happened. So I'm not sure, even if he holds that notch, what exactly is the outcome there. The Phoenix does keep going at sort of a slow rate, while the AMRAM's going to have a very aggressive burn. So it could be those missiles getting on him at the same time. So that's not exactly ideal if you're trying to notch. But
Yeah,
little bit more of an exchange.
Probably reacquired.
Yeah. More of an exchange that goes on there. Wadafak does collect their first kill here. Hikaku does put a nice missile out onto Pyrox, I believe, from 4 miles, and he's at a quartering angle from the every quarter angle, so that's not a good place to be when you're slow in a Hornet. To an AMRAM, so he's going to go ahead and grab one there and turn cold. Beefed comes in hot again, tries to get Kastoy. Kastoy does a very good job notching AMRAMs this game. The Tomcat, he does a very good job. So I was happy to see that from the Tomcat. It was a few times I thought he was just going to go ahead and go down there. Let me go ahead and make sure that this is, there we go. Enjoy. And okay, so this is where we have our next mistake, and there's going to be 2 of these mistakes this game from Wadafak, or this round I should say. Sort of close range here. Beefed puts out a missile onto Mustang, and the terrain probably didn't help these guys. Yeah, so really closer to the terrain here. Beef's going to go ahead and put one out. Mustang puts one out, and both missiles are actually going to eat terrain, but Beef defended too aggressively and does get stuck on an uphill section, and looks like he's going to put his tail into the tree. So he's going to go down there. Hikaku comes out over the ridge, and what I assume he was looking for was Mustang. Doesn't find him. Then Anomaly, I assume, is now, hey, there's an 18 right here. So a little bit of an interesting situation here. 3 miles, like these ranges are really, really short. So 3 miles, Anomaly's going to survive the first missile from Mustang, but now Mustang's going to get a rear quartering shot, and flares and everything doesn't seem to help him here. So Anomaly does go down to the heater, but Hikaku does come in and put a missile on the Mustang before getting traded out by a Werewolf. Also going on here, Anomaly did put out a missile onto the Tomcat, and he's finally going to miss the notch and is going to go down. So Tomcat goes down. Couple of trades there, and now we end up with Slide in a 1v2 with less missiles overall. Little bit of an exchange there, but Slide's going to sort of try and get some space here, try and get some breathing room, but these Toro guys know where he's at the whole time. Link 16 is definitely your friend, and unfortunately Slide does notch this missile, but also ensures his death with the ground.
Yes, there was
Squirrel's Claim
AWACS in this mission. There was AWACS in this mission, although the TAC feed doesn't show it. There definitely was AWACS in this mission.
This guy right there. Look at him.
There they are. My apologies.
Yep. So, Squirrel's Claim 2. Toro claim the rest. And they've got an RTB with 2 left.
Right. There's no AWACS in the live TAC view.
Correct. So what I will go ahead and do for you guys is these guys are getting lined up. I'm going to go ahead and send you guys over to the trailer really quickly while I make sure that all these guys are lined up, and then we'll resume once they're rolling off the field. Alrighty, guys, and we'll see you in a few minutes. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with round 2, also known as round 1, but don't worry about that. That's not of any concern for the moment.
Well, so Wadafak must be thinking, damn it, we've just lost round 2. What are we going to do in round 1?
Correct. That is exactly what Wadafak's thinking here.
Yeah.
No, definitely, but this is indeed round 1, but we're playing it as round 2 since I named them reversed.
Crisis, not a problem. Tactically, Wadafak need to try and get back into this. Obviously, suffering from that loss in round 2, they will need to analyze what they did wrong in the second round to fix the first round. And I guess they'll go with trust the notch, stay in the notch, don't go cold, don't die, kill all the enemies, return to base and land. Would be the good strategy to go in with.
Sounds like a good plan. But looks like the F2 view is not being nice to me today, so we'll stay out of it for now.
Any pilot changes between round 2 and round 1?
Let's take a look. So, start off on the Toro side. Looks like they fly so close in formation. So, Fur 109, also known as Fernando, is in his F14 this time. Pyrox in the 18, Werewolf in the 18. S-Bar in 16. And then on the ground, we have Mustang and Ovi. So I don't remember the entire roster last time, but I do know the Tomcat is different this time around.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Looks like they're bringing, I think, yeah, that's going to be the same lineup from What the fuck here. So
5 16s and 1 F18. 1 F18 carrying all the missiles in the world. Going up against a team that also has a ton of missiles.
do you remember what color What the fuck was last time? Were they on blue or red?
So
Okay, no, this
Toro
is
was the
okay. Yeah,
home
no,
team.
yeah, correct. They're on red
Toro was
first.
the home team, which was red first.
Okay. Because I hope this is the correct round.
Yeah, you're not playing round 2 again, that's for sure.
Yes. But I want to make sure I'm playing the correct one.
You are.
Because that round, okay.
Anomaly, this is the round that you flew after you flew the second round. No, before you flew the second round. With the way we're playing it, it's after the second round. Officially round 1.
No, okay. The order you sent me the tracks was round
Yeah, I sent you the 2 tracks.
12, 1207, 20. That should have been the first one. Okay. So this should be the correct round.
So chat, who do you think is going to win this round and potentially win this match? Is it going to be Toro from Spain with all those Spanish matadors? Or is it going to be the Czech beer drinking capital of the western part of Europe? What a fuck.
Am I allowed to bet?
No.
Oh, okay. Unfortunate. Tomcat's taking the lead here from Toro. Toro's going to be doing tactical line going in there with a 2-ship in trail. Wadafak doing their nice little 3-ship spread that I do like. I actually did like it last time, but we shall see.
So, one vote on Toro winning this match or this round.
Any other bets?
Yeah, we need some more bets.
I would set up predictions, but I have all my
Too
monitors are
many.
full,
Uh,
so we're
and
gonna go without predictions.
I don't know if Cody, if you're watching, can you please put up a poll? Who's going to win this round? I don't know how he's feeling. I wish him well.
F2 looks to be cooperating for now, so we'll get a little bit of F2 view here.
Very pretty Ferrari looking jet.
I do love the skins from both teams here.
Fred is gorgeous, nice and shiny.
So that spectating Turner here. Got the DCS
lovely
World Events
skin.
patch on the pilot as well in there, which is really nice. Let's just go through. We'll take a look at some skins here. Slide. Beautiful skin there. Same thing. Patch on the pilot. And the Toro skins I'm also big fans of on the Hornet. I like the board number, the font,
Very
and the
elegant,
contrast.
very suave. I like that. Board numbers, interesting. Toro, do you guys use your board numbers?
Would appear they do change them between
079.
their members.
Oh, excellent. I know their in-game names drive me insane with scripting because they use double pikes and things that completely mess with messages to Discord and that, hiding things when they shouldn't. But we love the Spanish.
Bob have the best skins. I need to see
We
the
also
Bob
love-
skins.
The Bob skins are beautiful. Those pink Blue Oyster Boys, the Police Academy.
The neon pink, but we do have a missile coming out here, so we'll go back to the F10 view. Kikaku. So Wadafak
Back to the
going to be
action.
opening up this time. Yeah, Wadafak's going to be opening up this time instead of Toro, which I guess was actually reversed, but Kikaku opening up on the werewolf. Their werewolf's going to look like he's in Split Turn Cold, and that missile's going to be no factor from what I would assume.
Gotta send
Nothing
them
beats a pink.
cold.
Yeah, nothing beats a pink Su-27. I guess I'm going to be looking forward to seeing those eventually.
A pink Christian Eagle 2 beats an Su-27.
It is true. No damage model.
Ah,
Automatically the
one of the
best.
greatest- one of the greatest planes that ever saw the light of day.
Indeed, indeed. So one missile came out, and everybody sort of just was like, "Hey, we're gonna go defensive." But Enjoy, Pyrox, Aspar, and Fernando looking to meet each other here. Enjoy coming in close, 8 miles from Pyrox, 8.4 miles. Pyrox puts out his missile. Enjoy choosing to go immediately into the notch. Looks like he's gonna rely on Beefed and Anomaly here to put some follow-up shots. Pyrox deciding to turn cold there. Anyway, Aspar still pushing hot. He's at Angel's 8. Enjoy's at 4. Beefed, Anomaly's quite high here for the range. Angel's 17. Kikaku's putting out a missile of his own from Angel's 10 onto Aspar. Aspar's turning cold. Enjoy putting out a off-board missile on what appears to be Aspar as well. He's already well cold. That's going to be no problem for him. Fernando and Mustang now hot as well. Werewolf putting out a missile now onto Anomaly, who's a little bit higher. Phoenix from low to high from Fernando onto Anomaly here. See how he chooses to defend this. 2 slightly off angle missiles. They'll probably meet somewhere in the middle, so I'd say it's possible to notch these if he needed to, but he's just going to go ahead and split S turn cold, full burner, and hit the deck. I believe that should be no issue for him. I do have faith that he's going to go ahead and defeat those missiles quite easily, and it would seem that he is. That Mark 60 is going to, once that motor comes out, it's going to start losing a ton of speed. And there goes its speed. So Mark 60's out of speed. Nominally well cold. It was a little bit close on that Mark 60, but I'm sure he knew his ranges. Slide, now in hot. Kikaku, now in hot. Enjoy. Hot, and so 3 hot, 3 cold from Wadafak, and it's very similarly the same here for Toro, with 1 cranking instead of being cold. 120 exchange from Slide and the Pyrox. Slide, cold, Pyrox, cold. Should be no issue there from him. OV Mustang starting to crank back towards Slide, but seems like they're just going to go ahead and turn cold, which I find is slightly interesting because Kikaku and Enjoy don't have missiles out on each other. Wadafak now with 4 hot.
Archer, welcome. Yeah, we made a boo-boo and we streamed round 2 first instead of round 1. So we've gone back to the future. No, we've gone back to the past and we're streaming round 2, round 1, second, when we streamed round 2 first. Toro won round 2. There's the predictions. Thank you.
There it goes. Amateur. Nice.
Amateur.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Koki. You just keep that video to yourself.
So 5 hot here from Wadafak. Toro, very, very defensive line here coming out. It's almost like a naval battle. You know, they're like in a line formation, just shooting like naval artillery at each other here. I'm not sure what's going on. But 54.
Gentlemen, there's post up. Let's see what goes on. Vote for the poll.
If Wadafak or Toro vote on that, that is fraud. And Mr. 2-time COVID champion has joined us. Coyote. Alrighty. So, a little bit of line warfare here coming out from both sides. Just exchanging missiles, turning cold. Nothing really aggressive from either side yet. Obviously, Toro is going to be able to keep this up for longer than Wadafak is, just due to missile count. So we'll see how this ends up working out for Wadafak. How's that picture-in-picture tacky looking? It's looking good. You guys can see it all.
Elric goes, you only had it twice, amateur. Coyote, shame. So, Elric, how many times have you had the video? I'm quite proud to say that I've never had it. Or
Congratulations.
if I did, I didn't know about it.
We're very proud of you for that. OV is in hot here, just kind of pushing. Kikaku's very much cold. Turner is there to support him, though. Anomaly is hot. Slide's cold. Enjoy. Sort of in a crank. Beefed. Cold. Mustang puts out a 120 onto Anomaly. Hey, let's get an idea what these ranges are. So 8 miles, so that seems to be the new standard now. If it was 10, now it's 8, and next it's going to be 4. So 120 is getting exchanged there. 120s, yeah. Mustang is already cold. Anomaly's already cold. That's well outside the Nez. They're both low. They're both not very fast. I'd assume maybe Anomaly's was faster, but both missiles easily defeated from both sides. And Toro's still in a wonderful tactical blob. While it looks like that Wadafak has set up a very, very good grinder, I'd say. But
nice
once again, they have less
one.
missiles. Yeah, nice widespread, good grinder, but it's just they don't have. My opinion, they don't have the missiles to continue this unless they are doing, unless you know they're faking shots and saving. There's potential, but playing the long game with Toro, from what I've seen from other competitions, things like that, is it's kind of hard to do. They're really good at it. They all fly 18s or Tomcats and an occasional F-16. And that brings you
who are we
quite
talking
the number
about?
of missiles. Toro.
Ah, copy.
Toro do tend to bring quite the amount of sticks to the fight. So,
Elric, I don't want COVID. At the beginning of the COVID pandemic, I got these special patches from the pharmacy, which prevent me from licking street poles when I walk past them. They work marvelously, and I think thanks to those patches, I've remained STD free since 2003 and COVID free.
oh, congratulations.
Thank
you. Mustangs know it hot on the on the Wadafak formation here that have quite a bit cold. 4 cold, 2 hot. I imagine that we'll get 3 hot here and 3 cold. Anomaly starting to make his turnaround now. Toro just kind of in that this blob. It's gotten a little bit bigger. It probably was was like a 15-mile little bubble they were in. Now it's a little bit bigger than that. 120 out from Werewolf. Kikaku exchanges with his own. And I wonder if this is going to continue like the script has so far. There's about 7.5 mile shot there. Kikaku turning cold. Werewolf is cold as well. Don't think these 120s have the energy. Don't think so. Yeah, looks like that 120 on Kikaku is defeated, and that 120 on the Werewolf is not going to quite have the legs to make it out to him. So another exchange there. And we'll just check out the missiles real quick. Kikaku's down to a single 120. Enjoy. He's got sticks for days. His team, not so much, it would seem. Oh, no. Anomaly's looking good, so... Relatively random amount of sticks between the Wadafak side. And I'm just going to go ahead and assume that Toro have at least 1.5 times the sticks remaining, just based on the shots that they've been taking. 120 out on Enjoy. Enjoy is going to go ahead and kinematically defeat that relatively easy. Anomaly and Pyrox going to go ahead and do a quick exchange here. Altitude-wise, Pyrox is a little bit higher, but I imagine Anomaly was a little bit faster, so we'll see what happens here. Pyrox not quite extending that distance as fast as I think he'd hope. That missile's quite close. This one might be a little bit of a nail biter here. We'll go ahead and take a look at it. But into the ground. See ya. Not quite as close as I thought it was either. So another Phoenix out. I do kind of want to see the Phoenix stay at the Tomcat. He's been putting out quite a few, so he's got 3 left, plus 2 heaters. And that Phoenix looks like it's tracking onto Anomaly. Anomaly is now hot. Now, if you're flying towards a Phoenix, it's probably not the right direction, but we'll see what he ends up doing with it. Beefed and Mustang exchanging 120s. Mustang turning cold a little bit late there. Beef's going to have to notch that one, and he does. Mustang, it looks like it does drive that one to the ground. Phoenix here is notched and out of energy as well. So it's getting a little bit more spicy. Game started off as very, very sort of passive setups, but now they're sort of forced to drive to these closer ranges. Beefed and Ovi exchanging here. Beefed going for the notch. Ovi going also for the notch. Slide putting out a missile onto the Tomcat, it would seem. Anomaly putting out a missile there on Cold Bandit. Looks like this 120 actually could be going towards Ovi. I'm not 100% sure. We'll go ahead and assume that those two most likely get defeated, I would say. Another 120 exchange here from Kikaku and Mustang. Mustang foxing 2, turning cold. Close, very close range fights. Enjoy is just letting all the missiles sling. He's slinging out 120s left, right, and center. One's going to go ahead and hit the ground. 2 are tracking. Another one hits the ground. Mustang barely escaping that 120 from the right group of Wadafak. And that third missile from Enjoy is tracking a cold target. 120 on Fernando is going to hit terrain, it would appear. Ovi putting out an off-bore missile onto Anomaly. That's going to be 2 missiles, actually. Anomaly exchanging with a single. Anomaly going for the notch. Quite a lot going on here. Quite a lot of missiles being expended from both sides. Ovi looks like he's turning cold from it, and he's going to go ahead and eat that one. Anomaly eats the second fox from Ovi. So a little quick exchange there from the both of them. Enjoy is exchanging over here. I'm not quite sure which Toro member did actually shoot at him, but that missile on both of these guys, they're looking close, and not a trade, actually. So we lose a Wadafak member, and Pyrox does survive with his life. Aim 9 and 120 out from Beef. 120 onto Fernando. Fernando might have gotten hit by that. We'll see here in a few seconds if he does go down. Oh, and he's going to go down to what might have been a friendly missile. We'll have to go check that on the attack view for sure. 54 out from Fernando. That's going to be chasing these Wadafak guys, and they're looking to sort of reset this fight here. Slides back in hot. 3 cold from Wadafak, 1 hot. And
4v4 at the time, Skagen. As we get closer to the end, we will go through. Thanks for the view and welcome. That looked like a C-fit as well. There might have been a C-fit there from one of the Waterfucks.
I actually didn't quite catch it. But 4 from Wadafak, 4 from Toro. Missile states, we'll have to take a look. Slide, single 120. Beefed, single 120. Kikaku, 0 120s, and Turner with 2 120s and an aim 9. We'll take a look at the Hornets here from Toro. 3 120s there. 4 120s on the 16. 2 120s on that 18, and Pyrox has 2 4 5 120s. So definitely out missiled. It's going to be quite the fight here for Wadafak. They are trying to reset this fight. but Toro has recognized that and is already pushing them hot. They have 0 hot right now, so it's going to be interesting for Wadafak to re-engage into this fight, considering the aspect at the moment. We'll go ahead and zoom in on the tac views for you guys. That should be good now.
Archer, if you're here, what was the result of the poll?
Alrighty. Wadafak just dragging this fight south. Kikaku's looking to, what I think is he's looking to recommit here, behind Turner. Turner looking to recommit as well, I'd assume. Beef is already recommitted. Slide is still cold. Kikaku's just going to go ahead and stay cold. Turner looks like he's trying to recommit. Beef is the only one hot versus 3. Pyrox is in trail still from these guys, but 3 120s out from multiple different angles onto Beefed. Oh, actually, they choose to launch on Slide here. So a single 120 out into Beef, that could have been really dangerous for him. Slide does survive. Slide does survive that there, so very, very close. I think if those guys just cross their launches there's no way Beef survives. So Beef does get away with his life there somehow. And we did lose a member of Toro in that fight there. So 120 on Turner. Turner's easily going to defeat that. So 4 versus 3 here. Mustang.
Very interesting poll results. 0 points to Wadafak, 520 points to Toro. The audience are fully backing Toro in this. We're down to what? 3v3?
Beefed and Pyrox, very close exchange here. Beefed. Oh, that hit the terrain behind him. I thought it hit him. Beef survives that. So Beef does notch that missile, put it into the terrain behind him. Turner notches his missile and does survive. And now we have this fight just keeps on going. It's the fight that keeps on giving. So Mustang, single 120 left. Looking to do something with that. And I don't think these guys have many missiles left. I think Pyrox would be the one who had the most, and he's down to 3. 120 out from Werewolf, and let's see, that is his, what appear to be the last is 120. Kikaku, missiles from multiple different angles. Defending. That is going to be tough for him. Kikaku does go down. So we do lose Kikaku. That was a wonderful coordination there from Toro to get two missiles from 2 different aircraft at 2 different aspects that you just can't notch. You're only forced to turn cold. Or if there's terrain. We did see a couple of terrain defeats there. So Turner, Pyrox, very close to each other here. Turner turning in under Pyrox. He might not know he's there. 120 out from Turner. Doesn't seem to be on Pyrox. Merge here. That 120 looks like it didn't go after anything, but Beefed is coming in to join this here and attempts the gun. No joy. No joy on the guns from Beefed in that head-on. Looks like they are going to try and force that merge. Turner now head-on with Werewolf. Aim 9 out onto Werewolf. Only 2 flares coming out from him. That's not going to do enough, and that's going to be a kill there from Turner onto Werewolf. Mustang sliding in behind Turner. Beefed and Pyrox in the merge here, so we'll go ahead and take a look at that. Tac views in the bottom corner, so you guys can see what's going on with the other stuff. But looks like a nice little merge here from Beefed. See if he can make this turnaround on this Hornet. It's going to be tough. I mean, the 16 did get some nice changes, but we'll go ahead and see how that ends up going. Just want to get a quick little update here. Mustang in a tail chase with Turner. Pyrox is starting, it looks like, to make his way around this circle on 16, but he's very slow. That Hornet's very slow. Aim 9 coming into this fight, and it's going high, and no good. Another aim 9 coming out from Mustang. Mustang's in a team kill. his friendly Hornet. Now it is 3 versus 1. Mustang is all by himself. And I don't even know who to padlock to. Alright. Zoomed in that tac view for you guys, so you guys can get a better view there. Now, it's very interesting because it looks like Beefed is finally slotting in behind. But Mustang did get some guns out onto Slide. He's trying to chase Slide into the vertical. But does have Beefed slotted in behind him as well. It's just a matter of who's going to catch who first. Mustang trying to shoot and defend at the same time. Overshoot. forced by Slide. Mustang now with 2 on his 6. And the third, slightly more in trail.
You make a good point there, Rob. The F-18 does have the ability to jet the racks. They do cause that little bit extra drag and paddle.
Looks like a little pilot snipe there. A little bit of a pilot snipe coming out from one of the 16s, and that just sends you right back to spectator. So that's why his aircraft there disappeared.
Overshoot. A triple gun skill. All 3 of them got guns in them. Unbelievable.
Yeah. So 3 people getting guns on a single target. That's quite the overkill there, I'd say.
Ladies and gentlemen, Wadafak win round 1. We're going to round 3, provided Cookie names it correctly.
This one I didn't name. I left the timestamp. For good reason.
Oh my god. There we go. Excellent. So, wow, three people put guns in the last guy from Toro. Well done. Wadafak, unlucky Toro. Friendly fire? No, I don't think so.
Alrighty. There was a single friendly fire. The Hornet did shoot a AIM-9 into the big merge that was happening and took down his friendly Hornet. So the Toro did have a team kill in there. We'll go ahead and take a look at that tag view here in a second. I will pop open that tag view now, and I'll go ahead and get the next round queued up at the same time. So give me 1 second here, guys. We're gonna multitask, get multiple things done at the same time.
2 JK versus 2 TK. 2 guns kills versus 2 team kills.
All right, I pray that this is the 3rd round. We'll get that queued up here.
I'd rather fly into the ground than team kill. Not so sure.
Alrighty, let me just verify. This is the 2nd round queued up, and then we'll go and review that tag view. Okay, the 3rd round is queued up. The actual 3rd round is queued up, so this is going to be interesting. Alrighty, so let's pop back over to this tag view. It was quite a long, drawn-out fight, I'd say. It wasn't nearly as aggressive as some other teams like to play it. So Kikaku is the first one to put a missile out onto Werewolf here. Angel 16.
Stop for a second.
Sure.
Okay, what I recall from seeing this, there was a strange maneuver by Wadafak, which obviously tended to pull off, but they had territory at a stage where they were over the halfway line, and again having Toro bunched up in the group, which seems to be a bit of their thing, I guess. And then what surprised me the most was 4 of the Wadafak doing the drag, pulling them all the way back into their side. Maybe that was to regroup, or very interesting maneuver. Haven't seen much of that.
It's good to reset the fight. It just depends on how your squad likes to play, but they did reset that fight there, and I thought it was really good timing. They got their picks, and they sort of decided, hey, we're going to reset this fight. We're going to drag it out. We're going to hope that they turn cold as well. I felt like they might have done it for a little bit too long, but the way they recommitted was perfect. I think that a little bit of a miscue from Toro slightly, and Anomali's making a good point that they did drag into the mountains. I think that Toro had the opportunity to get a cross shot onto that what I believe was the Wadafak Hornet. We'll go ahead and see that again in the tag view, but it might have been terrain, might not have been. Really, the only good way is to take a look at the tag view. So I'm just going to go ahead and play this in 5 times because it's a lot of early exchanges, a lot of early missile jousting that, to be all that honest, is not super interesting sometimes because everybody's sort of doing the same thing. Hot, missile out, cold, reset. But that is part of the game. You do have to sort of drain your missile economy of the other team. Especially in these unrestricted tournaments where you have 10 AMRAMs on these Hornets. You really got to work them down. Or you kill them early and they go down with all their missiles. All the same. But yeah, Wadafak does get quite the positioning onto their side of Bullseye. And this is when you sort of start seeing all these sort of exchanges coming out. And this is sort of the fight before the fight. Or the first battle, I really should say. Wadafak get super aggressive here. They go for notches instead of turning cold, and they're gonna get some picks here, and they're gonna lose a few as well. So you lose Enjoy out here on the flank. Just misses that notch. just too close. And what I really did want to see is this one, this 120 right here, because this is so close, and it's gonna hit a tree. So it was leading into the ground, but obviously they have terrain avoidance, but it did hit a tree. And as suspected, this 120 did hit the Tomcat. So this team kill technically was a team kill, but I'm not 100% sure if it actually made a difference. This Tomcat might not have been combat effective anymore. And so we continue. And so you get sort of what happens basically is an even exchange. And actually, this Phoenix is connect. Holy oh wow. So Fernando puts out that his dying breath Phoenix, and Turner is just maneuvering out there, and just appears to get hit by it, but no effect. Very interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. It could just be TACU collision boxes being funny. Regardless, doesn't actually go down. 4 reset the fight. They go for the mountains. That's the call they make. And this is where I think Beef actually could have gone down. Beef is going to recommit. He's going to be the only one recommitted. And Slide is in a crank. He has the possibility to put on an off bore, so I can see why they put a missile out on him. But if Mustang puts one out here, that's going to be it would be close, honestly. I feel like there is potential there for something to happen, and maybe if Werewolf's a little higher as well, his 120 is going to be it's not really going to get over the ridges, and you can't manually loft the 120s like you can with the SD10. What's a neat little trick with the SD10 is to loft over ridges. You just manually loft it over the ridge, and it lofts and it goes over. So that's something nice with the SD10 compared to the 120. But this 120 is just going to eat the dirt. However, I think maybe a 120 coming from behind could have put him in a little bit of trouble, but it's hard to say really. Slide defending for his life here. This 120 just simply doesn't hit. And then now that Wadafak has the terrain they desire, they've reset the fight, and it sort of gets ugly from here on out. You get a merge going on here, and this is where I'm talking about where you have multiple missiles from different angles. Hikaku has no chance to survive here. There's really nothing left that he can do, but attempt. He can attempt to survive. Turner sort of runs in here. I'm not sure what the comms were like on the Toro side, but Pyrox looks like should have sworded Turner. And that sort of gets missed out on. It could be, a combination of terrain and all this other stuff really could be a huge factor, just because data link could be cutting in and out, and it's definitely when the game's gone on this long, and there can be miscomms and things like that, you definitely can get lost. So looks like that should have been his sort, and then Beef just sort of belly stabs him with the guns and nearly gets him. Pyrox was quick to notice that he's a little bit out of position there. Turner, sorry, goes at their Werewolf. Werewolf only puts out 2 flares. I'm not sure if that's what that was like there. Definitely need loads of flares, especially head on. Definitely don't want to take that risk. But Mustang is kind of sort of lost almost, it would seem. I'm not sure if he has missiles left at this point, but he only has AIM-9s. So one big merge here, and this is the merge that was sort of happening the entire time, was Beefed and Pyrox. And Mustang comes in and what I assume is trying to save his team member, but instead puts down his friendly Hornet with his second and last AIM-9, and I believe that leaves him with just guns. And yeah, so then we're going to see some wonderful teamwork BFM here from from the entire team of Wadafak. The overshoot here from Slide is very nice to force that overshoot, although he probably could have gone down and it still would have been fine, but the overshoot's nice, and then now you pretty much ensure that you deny Mustang any guns onto anybody here with 3 behind him. And a spray down from all 3 of them puts him down. But looks like we are actually very close to having this 3rd round hot and ready. So let's transition over to the live tack view, and I'm just going to go ahead and we'll watch it, watch them roll live here for the sake of time. Alrighty. Put you over bullseye. Now we're in the live tack view.
Stream's delayed then.
Slightly. There we go.
Ah.
We're on the live tack view now, and we'll go and swap over to the live DCS where Toro is just now lining up, and they should be rolling here shortly. Good time. Wow, look at that timing. That timing
Ladies and
could not
gentlemen,
be any
round
better.
3. In when this took place, Wadafak win round 1.
So it looks like
Toro.
my encoding is not going to like for some reason on the ground, it just does not like me being an F2. So we'll go ahead and let them roll off the ground here. Try one more time.
Toro take round 2 in a comeback. This is round 3. It's the decider. Who is going to take it? Archer or Coyote? Let's hit another poll. Is it going to be Wadafak or is it going to be Toro? The Czechs or the Spanish? Valley, Tbilisi, Kutaisi.
They're talking about taking away somebody's sidewinders from him. Well, the order is definitely messed up because Toro's on red again.
That is correct because that's right. Red, blue, red, if it was the correct order.
Alrighty, now that they've climbed out a little bit, I should be able to go F2. So we're on the deciding round now. The chronology, whatever you want to call it, is definitely incorrect due to my own doing. But this is the quote-unquote decider, so regardless of what the order it was played, there was 3 rounds, and there was 2 exchanges that led to getting to the 3rd round. Oh, come on, don't do encoding overloaded. There we go. I had Twitch encoding.
Toro have the momentum from winning round 2. Wadafak would need to remember what they did in round 1, go back to that if they want to pull out any form of a victory. It's anybody's game. Chat, what do you think?
I do love the skins still. I'm going to say it again. So much effort goes into these skins. For all the teams really, really put forth some really nice skins for their individual squads. Anomaly's Negjin knocking out his pilot. And tactical line out from Toro once again. So we'll go F10 2 times just so we can get them into the bubble. But that last round that we did the preview was quite interesting, I'd say. Whole lots of missiles defeated, a big merge, a team kill. quite the show there. Poor Tomcat getting shot at by both sides. No, already.
Wadafak is crumbling like against Harpia in the 4v4. Yeah, so yes, that 4v4, if to remind people, it was Harpia versus Wadafak Gold 4v4 semi-final. Wadafak wins the first round 4-0, then loses the second round and the third round. Hopefully, because this match was taken place afterwards, hopefully they don't get stuck in their mind thoughts of what happened last time and they can pull something out of the bag. But then again, Toro's got their momentum. What can they do?
What can they do indeed? We shall see. So once again, nice spread formation here from Wadafak. 3 and 3. I do like it a lot. That is my personal favorite formation here. It's worked out once.
Creatures
Let's
of
see if it
habit.
works again.
Creatures of habit. 3 rounds they've done that. But obviously Toro's done something different because the first time, okay, now they're splitting into their champagne like Vic
Indeed, first
paired.
missile out from Toro this time on the Turner. Turner
Oh,
just choosing to notch it.
no, it changed. So they had 1 go north and 3 go south. Interesting.
Turner
Looking
probably a
for
little
the
bit
heavy
closer
group
than
at the bottom.
a little bit close for comfort there for Turner on that initial 120, but he makes it out perfectly fine. Anomaly. Getting a nice little barrage of 120s. Friendly 120s from Toro there in the south. Turner really, really far north here. Really far north. I wonder if that's because of his choice to notch that missile. Kind of broke up the formation a little bit. They're right about 14 this time, unfortunately. No, they're still in 14. Still a Tomcat. Everybody has to fly the same. You can switch pilots, but you can't switch airframes. You need the same airframes between all 3 rounds. Leaf Castoy is going to be flying this Tomcat this time around. And he is. But, once again, nice passive setup here from Toro. With Wadafak basically having to figure out how to break it. No more missiles exchanged. Let's take a look at some ranges. Beef is pushing in here. 11 miles from the group. 120 from Mustang out onto Beefed. That's 12 miles. Beefed could easily kinematically defeat that if he so chooses. However, he is continuing to be hot. And looks like he's going to go ahead and choose to turn cold here. And these guys keep moving around the position they're in the bubble, so I have to keep adjusting the attack view. See if that looks any better. Zoom it out. There we go. Alrighty. So, more of the same in the third round. Nobody really wants to take that early aggression and take a chance, I'd assume. 54 out from Castoy onto Slide. Slide returns to 120. Onto Aspar. Aspar. 120 of his own. Out onto Slide, and he is essentially cold from both. And I don't think those are going to catch him. Neither is his. So, more of the same sort of grinder coming out here from Wadafak. Nice and spread out. Toro looks more like a battle line here again from Toro. They do have 5 hot right now with a single cold. Though I guess Fernando's a little in a crank, so we'll say 4 hot. And Aspar is just flanking north now. So 4 hot here from Toro now. 120 out onto Enjoy. Enjoy probably going to defeat that relatively easily, I'd assume, once again. And then Werewolf putting out a 120 onto Anomaly. Anomaly is already well cold. That's not going to go out there and do much. Kikaku is hot. Closing the distance here on the Tomcat. 120 out from Kikaku on to Castoy from 7.5 miles. Looks like he was coming down from 10,000 plus. So he's going to have to drive this 120, looks like, into the ground, which is forced to notch here. 120 on Castoy. Castoy defeats that. So one of the better PK shots so far, and they were both defeated. Turner and Fernando exchanging up here in the north. Turner turning cold from that 120, and doubt that's going to be an issue for him there. And there's that 120 sailing past his 6 o'clock. And do we lose? We lost Fernando. We lost Fernando to either C-Fits. I believe it was C-Fits. I did catch it slight. The live tag is like a few seconds behind, and I think I did see him going to the ground there. So we lost Fernando. So a little bit of a exchange there that goes Wadafak's way. So Wadafak, out with the numbers advantage. Kikaku missile on to Ovi. That's going to be a 8.5 mile shot from 10K. What I assume is a look down. It is, and he's going to be well cold already. Don't think that missile's going to catch up. But Enjoy also putting out a missile of his own here, slightly off bore onto Aspar. Aspar returning one of his own. Actually, this 120 from Enjoy is actually going somewhere else. Enjoy now cold to Aspar. Aspar about an 8-mile shot. He's already cold. He should be okay. OV a little bit isolated here. A little bit of might be something that Wadafak can take advantage of. That they can isolate him off, but they don't have the numbers advantage up there. They are down in numbers up here, so not quite as good as it looks. But 5 alive from Toro, 6 alive on Wadafak. And more just missile jousting from both teams here. So Turner, missile out onto what I assume is Kistoy. It's a very close shot. He's going to have to notch that one. 120 out comes out from Werewolf in exchange. Kistoy in the notch, trying to force it, and yay or nay? That's a nay. So Kistoy does go down to the AMRAM, does get under him and pulls up into him, and that last second there reacquires. So quite the shot. I mean, the Tomcat's not an easy plane to notch, and that was quite a close-in shot. So very, very good attempt from Kistoy, but that's hard. That's hard to defeat. So another 120. Ooh, that's going to take down another Toro member. So Beef does get one there as well. So Wadafak looks like they're in the driver's seat on this one. 4 Toro alive to 6 Wadafak. Now there are, I would say the missiles might actually be even between both sides. Just because we have 18s alive, 3 18s alive still. But in reality, it might actually be much closer. Don't have the fancy overlay to show you exactly what it is, but we can make some assumptions here. That's going to go ahead and get terrained there from Beefed. Beef's missile does connect onto Werewolf. Werewolf does go down, so now Wadafak looks like they're firmly in the driver's seat here, 6 versus 3. Surely now they should have the missile advantage easily, which in this case really doesn't end up mattering too much. There's too many angles to defend from. Toro's really gonna have to pull out some really quick kills here before they get encircled. And 2 120s come out from Mustang. That's your friend, buddy. That looks like it's going towards Aspar. Possibly. No, it's actually going towards Turner. Who knows? Might not be tracking anything. But Turner puts out his 120 on the Aspar. Now, Toro in a very defensive situation here because they don't have enough pressure to force all the Wadafak members cold. This distance is going to keep closing and closing and closing until either side really goes down. Another missile out from Anomaly out on to one of the Hornets here. Can't really tell. 120 out from Mustang onto possibly Slide. Yep, that's arcing around onto Slide. Slide not defending yet. Slide put out his own 120. And it's getting we're really close range here, guys. This is probably a 2-3 mile separation between everybody. 120 out into Ovi, possibly. Nope. That's chasing Aspar. Aspar does go down to the cold 120. Going close to the 120. Ovi, 120 on him. Possible hit here. Doesn't have the energy. So he does survive, but it looks like a different one took him down. Beef does go down. There's missiles everywhere, and finally the Mustang's gonna be the last one remaining. And in a just a huge show of aggression, Wadafak just choke out Toro in the end there with their sheer numbers. And the celebratory flares from Enjoy as they have just advanced to what I believe is the finals, if I'm not wrong.
That is correct.
So
Wadafak come back to move on to the finals of the Gold6v6.
And I would say that's definitely not easy to do. I genuinely think that, in my personal opinion, is bringing less missiles to the fight in these circumstances. Certainly, so many F-16s versus so many F-18s, especially with a team like Toro who do play very well defensively and do force you to put missiles out and sort of respect them. It's not an easy task trying to do that in majority F-16s. So seeing all these F-16s come out and do a good job here was really nice to see. That quote unquote second round, which was actually the first round, was also nice to watch as well. That wonderful merge that happened there. Well played from Wadafak on those both rounds. Toro also did a very good job on their single round win. It really could have gone either way, I think, throughout this entire match. There really wasn't anybody clearly in the driver's seat. And so I really think the end there. I think Wadafak really only showed that they were in the driver's seat at the end there. So very kudos to both teams there for putting up such a great fight between them, and also congratulations to Wadafak for advancing to the finals.
As well
4
as
goals.
congratulations to Toro for getting so far in the competition, doing so well. They had some incredibly good matches right throughout the season. They beat almost everybody except their last two matches that they played in. So they had a phenomenally good season. Thank you very much for taking part, and we hope to see you soon. Well done.
Absolutely. So we do have one more game that we're going to go ahead and do here, guys, and that's going to be the Dundee and Cobra Silver 4v4 semifinal. We're going to figure out who's going to the Silver 4v4 finals here in just a bit. I do have to get all that loaded and ready, so just give us a few minutes here, and we'll go ahead and move on to that next game, guys. So I'll be right back.
Yeah, my blood is rebel. I'm going all the way. I'm going to another level. To another level. Let's go, let's go, let's go. To another level. To another level. Let's hit it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back for our second match of the day that we'll be streaming today. That's going to be Dundee versus Cobra for the
Just tuning
silver.
in. It's myself, Cookie, and co-host Bear.
And this is going to be for the silver 4v4 semifinals. So winner gets a spot in the finals for silver 4v4. So a interesting selection, I'd say. And not a lot of Eagles coming out from too many teams. So Dundee choosing to take a single F-15 while bringing three 16s in tow. Cobra, I believe, is all F-16s, and they are indeed. Now let's see if my OBS is gonna be nice enough to let me F2. Okay, it's not mad at me yet, but here we go. We got the wonderful Cobra aggressor skins coming out here, which look fantastic in my opinion. Everyone's always doing a great job.
Beautiful.
So, any predictions? Any predictions? Do we have a prediction going?
Archer, are you here?
Oh, that's gonna be laggy. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Oh,
I'm not sure why the encoding spikes up 1,000 kilobytes a second randomly. It's really strange. I gotta work that out, but
so this is Makeup Mineral Vody. Short, flat map.
a little bit of terrain there to the south, but not really too far. Not really quite in the bubble.
Yeah, right on the edge there.
Yeah,
The bubble starts shrinking when it's contested, and won't be able to use very much of it.
yep. So we shall see here. We shall see indeed. So I'm gonna go ahead and 2 times this into the bubble here, so we're not sitting here wasting too much time.
Problems. Navy Doc. Good to see you.
No Dundee skins to show off, sadly, but sure they will still show out in their individual skill. Let's take a look at missiles really quickly while we're in this little 2 times mode real quick. So it looks like full AMRAM loadouts coming out from the
No
boys
center
over
line
at Cobra.
on the one.
That is true. Dundee. Looks like they're
Right.
bringing max AMRAM as well. And then we
So
have the
my
Eagle,
guess is
who's also max AMRAM. Not a single AIM-9 on the Eagle.
wow.
So 8 120s coming out from the Eagle. That's actually relatively interesting. I do like the AIM-9s on the Eagle.
Interesting choice. Lawman in the F-15.
A little bit of interesting formation here from Dundee. That Eagle is just sort of just tracking north here. You have what looks to be a Stinger +1 with the Eagle in the rear there. It's a little bit interesting.
Yeah,
So
Navy Duck. Coyote's unfortunately he's ill, so he couldn't do the stream, and we've got wonderful Cookie that's doing a sterling job, apart from messing up the rounds in round one.
game one.
Game one, but that's not a problem. You missed your Tomcats. I know you love your Tomcats. There was Tomcats on the Toro side. They didn't feature very well. There was a Phoenix kill. Can't remember which round because the rounds are now messed up in my head. but a good match. Watch the VOD. And this is the second one. We're coming at you at all types of hours and crazy times because we've got to get through these playoff matches before the finals. We hope to stream all the finals matches next week, all but one, or the week after as they come in.
Alrighty. Looks like Loco's kind of just diving straight in here. He's already crossing bowls. Missile out from Loco onto Mickey. God, these names are really easy to pronounce. Oh, I love it.
Ratinsky,
Yeah, it gets a little more difficult, but like these first two I read right here, they're good. Yeah,
76. You see, the thing with him is he went to put his name down, Aletricho 1, and they said taken. So he put Aletricho 2, and it was taken, and he continued that until he got to 76.
Wonderful.
Finally got his name there.
Loco 120 on his 6 o'clock position. He's diving out from high altitude. He was quite high. And that 120 just it's lost in the sauce, man. That's not quite sure what happened with that 120. Somebody messed up on the factory line, but 120 out from Kibbles, it would appear. And that one's gonna get kinetically defeated. Although this little red 120 here is coming down ballistically.
So Cobra,
No
this is
joy.
Cobra's first competition. Well, not competition, first SATEL competition that they're flying in. I believe the same applies to Dundee, but they may have had pilots that flew in other teams. Silver Division is not necessarily an indication of their level of play. It's for the teams that we didn't know, so couldn't put them into a bracket or a division. But some phenomenal teams came out this year. Really good.
Lots and really varying, very different levels of tactics. So many different things that a bunch of teams tried, and they some worked, some didn't. But we saw a lot of uniqueness just due to the sheer volume of teams. So that was really nice to see. And unfortunately, they are fighting so far away from bowls that it's hard for me to compress this little mini tac view for you guys to see it all, because I don't have anything on the ground over there to snap to. But maybe that view is a little bit better. But
Anubis, Loco, and Lawman.
yep. So nice little exchange here. Kibbles and Lawman are hot on. I'm gonna call him Rat. They're both hot on Rat there. Two 120s coming out from slightly different angles. They're sort of converging onto him, but I think he'll have the kinematic defeat from down there. Loco and Anubis both hot as well. Lawman dragging that 120 out, and he's gonna kinetically defeat that.
So it's Ratinsky, and he's Italiano from Roma.
Ratinsky. There we go. I'll remember that now. You said it once already, and it kind of slipped my mind. But Ratinsky.
No worries.
Alrighty. So Ratinsky defends that 120. Kibble's still hot on Ratinsky. A little bit of like almost a cross block here coming up from Mickey and Rick to sort of push off that pressure from Ratinsky. From Kibbles. Kibbles just decides to put one out and sort of going to start dragging back towards Lawman, which I think is the right idea there. That's sort of what you want to do. Recognize a cross block, get out of it, don't get trapped in it. Not a good idea. Anubis and Loco kind of a little bit far out from this fight. Loco down in the weeds there at Angels 4. Anubis up at Angels 10, a little bit higher. Let's see Lawman out here. I'd like to see some altitude. He's at Angels 7. And most guys are already down in the weeds. So very typical of these sort of fights. They start out high, get dragged down low pretty quickly. Rick and Mickey now hot on just Lawman. Kibbles dragging towards Lawman there. Anubis and Loco hot on Ratinsky and Electricio. And Rick decides to put one out of his own.
Yeah, Sukis, I agree with you. It doesn't sound Italian. It sounds Polish or something to that extent, but I do know him, and he is Italian.
Two 120s out. On to Mickey. A little bit of an exchange there between Loco and Ratinsky. 120 out from Kibbles. Not sure what that's on. Might have picked up the 120s from Lawman. It's a possibility. Maybe not. Who knows?
Anomaly, I Silver was entertaining because it was a whole bunch of people that they know how to fight, but they don't know what they're doing. You know, Gold was mixed with people that don't know what they're doing, but think they know what they're doing, and then Diamond, of course, is the people that they know that they don't know what they're doing, but they do it anyway.
Yep, so Anubis here, quite high, not going to get that notch there that came up from below him, and that's going to go ahead and grab him. Ratinsky does actually escape that AMRAM. I'm not actually sure where it ended up going. But AMRAM defeated, so plus one there for Ratinsky. Loco, wingman down, now in hot on the group of Cobra. Cobra doing a great job here, just sort of claiming this piece of airspace and defending it. And making Dundee sort of force these fights. But Dundee They lose one. So Lawman now exchanging his own missile onto Alitricio, and also putting out one on Ratinsky. Looks like Ratinsky did put one slightly off bore onto Lawman there. We'll see if that one does end up tracking. There's Lawman dragging him to the ground, and defeated. So he was cold anyway. So I think he was going to kinematically defeat that as well. Kibbles recommitting now into that fight. Lawman cold. Loco cold from his fight. He's going to have to do something here because Loco is going to be isolated from the rest of Dundee, and that's something that Cobra can take advantage of. It looks like they're sending Rick out there to sort of pressure him down and make sure he can't recommit easily, but Loco is going to go ahead and decide to recommit. He's at Angels 3. Rick's at Angels 17, so really good job there from Cobra to go ahead and climb after, before recommitting, get a nice better little bit of energy behind those AMRAMs there. So 7.6 miles, high to low shot from Rick, and he's going to go ahead and split S, and he's going to be able to defend that AMRAM from Loco. That's just not going to have the energy, especially since he was diving out split S from up high. And so we do lose Lawman 20120. I'm not sure who did launch it, but we did lose him there. Loco is going to go ahead and escape with his life there, although on shorter margins, I assume, than expected. Oh, he's recommitting, and those missiles aren't quite defeated yet. And they hit each other. Well, one detonated on the replay, so replays are weird, and that stuff can't happen, but he is still alive. Kibbles is doing okay, does defeat that one, but Cobra is in the driver's seat here with 4 alive versus 2 of Dundee. Loco and Mickey exchanging missiles here, about 7 miles, I'd say. Loco is going to defeat that missile. Mickey defeats his own respectively. Kibbles in a world of trouble here, pushing in towards 3 Cobra members with no support. And 120 coming out on his 3 o'clock position now. He's starting to turn cold from it, and that's going to go ahead and smash him. We have Loco now left against 4 Cobra with no missiles left. And I assume that Cobra do have... Somebody has sticks. So there's 2 sticks on Alitricio, and Ratinsky is going to have a single stick left there. The other 2 with none. But let's see what happens here. And I know the attack view is so super far away, so we'll go ahead and attach to Loco here. How do you hide or break missile contact on a map this flat? There's a couple of things you can do. Just notching is going to be the primary one, especially on such a flat map. Kinematic
into the ground.
split S's, drive it into the ground, things like that. You just sort of combine a bunch of things together to achieve your desired goal, but breaking these really close shots is going to be hard, especially if they're in a rear quartering position or a head-on position, and you can't get to the notch. So merge here from Ratinsky and Loco. Mickey
or just fly the Jeff. It's an auto repellent. Carry on.
Mickey putting out a 120 onto Loco from his 6 o'clock position. Loco, I believe he's going to try to attempt the notch here. I think it's his only option. He's going way too slow. 200 knots indicated, about Mach 0.5. That missile is at Mach 1.2. However, there is a little bit of terrain here. He might be able to mask it. That missile's super low. That missile does break contact, and he is going to be okay. However, he still has 4 Cobra to deal with. Up above him, I believe, is Ratinsky, which, that is Ratinsky up above him. At the moment, Alitricio puts out a 120 of his own. That's going to be from his, I believe that's going to be his 11 o'clock position. Now driving it to his 9 o'clock position. Missile off his 9 o'clock, should be coming from high to low. And notched. So it just goes right under his belly. He's going to survive that one here. Loco putting on a wonderful defensive show for us here.
Alright, thank you so much, first time viewer squad, man. I know I'm a beautiful man. There were some other questions. Is chaff allowed as well? Yes, of course. You get to choose your chaff and flare count on the ground. Some people take lots of chaff, some people take lots of flares.
120 out, high to low, Alitricio onto Loco. Now that's not going to be easy to notch, but he does it anyway. Loco survives. Another super close hit and AMRAM shot. Just that AMRAM was in such a look down state that if you just pass through that notch, it'll lose you. So, wow. Loco defining all odds here, staying alive, and I'm not even sure what the missile state's going to look like on these jets. We'll take a look. Rick is doing well. I think he's just RTB. Patricio looking good. Tinsky looking good. And Mickey looking good. I should say not good. Now they're actually all here together. So a little bit of a mistake on there. Oh, little bit of a drive by there from the Tertinsky, passing onto now his 6 o'clock position. I think that Loco is unsure whether that missile's left or not, so he's trying to notch what was El Patricio coming in at his 3 o'clock position. I'm sorry, but he is gonna have to start engaging in some BFM here to, if he wants to make something happen. They do have Mickey just sort of out, about 15 miles out. Good mock point for it, trying to save fuel. They don't want this game to come down to a fuel fight. So Cobra choosing to send just El Patricio and Rutinsky after Loco. On the 6 right now is going to be Rutinsky. You can hear those rounds going off against the ground and air bursting, and that's going to be the kill there. So Rutinsky takes a wonderful shot from the 6 o'clock position and does finish that round off there. And you can kind of see Mickey was just out here cruising along, keeping some fuel. I believe Rick was doing the same. Yeah, Rick's much higher, and yes, Cobra basically was ensuring that he didn't force that round to anything interesting. 2 versus 1 BFM should be more than enough. So yeah, especially when you get the 6 o'clock position, they had missiles as well.
Wolverine F-16 based fighter is subjective. Some people like the JF-17, some people like the F-14, some people like the F-18, some people like the F-16. It's purely subjective. The radar is difficult. I mean, I'm primarily in the F-16, and the radar is challenging, but there's ways around it. Cookie, for example, is phenomenal in any jet you put him in. So it's a matter of choice. I don't think there's one aircraft that is totally dominant over any other, but it is by far the prettiest aircraft. That is for sure. The Viper is the prettiest one in our game at the moment.
It is a very pretty aircraft, and I didn't end the live tag view again, so I lost it this time. Nice.
Oh
But
dear.
we'll
So
go ahead
Cobra
and
takes round 1. Rather powerfully. Unlucky there to Dundee for not being able to fight back harder. But wow.
that
At least there's
defensive show
another
from
round.
Loco was really nice to see, though. He did
Absolutely.
they put on a little bit of a notch fest there with those 120s. Do you have the first round tag view for that match there, by any chance?
Looking.
If you can grab that, that'd be fantastic. I am just go ahead and gonna go ahead and boot up that other one. If we can get the tag view going, we'll get the tag view going. If not, I'll throw you guys over to the trailer on the stream there.
Confirming
Well,
it's round
yeah,
1.
most of your
Yeah.
engagement ranges in the 16 are going to be relatively close anyway. You do get reduced SA with trying to do some extended sort of fights there, or some longer range fights, I should say. You do lose your SA just because your radar isn't as nice, at least at the moment. I'm not sure what direction they're going to be going with the radar, but we'll see what ends up happening with it. I think its kinematics are still really good, and it still has potential to give most airframes a run for their money in the game at the moment.
Yeah, Wolverine, don't give up. I mean, changes are coming, updates are always coming out, and they're tweaking things. And I have big faith in Eagle Dynamics with where they're taking things. Sometimes I don't particularly like it, but it is what it is. It's a great jet. I mean, I think the F-16 must be probably the most popular used jet this year. There were more teams that flew F-16s than others. Obviously, a big combination of others. But take Cobra, for example, all F-16s. Grim Reapers flew all F-16s in most of their matches. Wadafak as well. They would have a Tomcat every now and then, and an F-18 in the last one, but primarily F-16s. Don't give up on it. It's a great starting aircraft. It's got amazing area situation awareness, and that the radar being a little bit the way it is right now is not a show killer. It doesn't put these teams off flying them. So stick to it and enjoy it.
Yeah, I would say definitely stick to something you enjoy flying. Get good at what you enjoy flying. Don't I would say avoid buying something just because it's performing slightly better at the moment. You're not gonna get the same experience that you get if you fly what you enjoy flying. There's a lot of people who enjoy flying the Viper, for a multitude of reasons, and even if they're not the most competitive airframe at the very specific point in time, definitely doesn't mean that you can still enjoy it. And a lot of teams do make it work, and it does do a fantastic job. And I would say it was probably the most common airframe so far. But Taki was playing in the background during that little F-16 exchange we had there, and we got to see some of these early missile exchanges. See what was going on with these AMRAAMs. But this one, yeah, so really these early on exchanges were actually really good. The first person I caught out is going to be Anubis here. This off bore from Vertinsky is quite the shot here. We'll go ahead and slow this back down to 1 time speed. He's sort of climbing up here to the man. That is quite the angle. And I don't think Anubis was expecting it. I think that he thought that he had the element of surprise there, but lo and behold, comes an active off Vertinsky, and then Vertinsky's just barely going to escape there. That missile just sort of losing its lift there as it gets below Mach 2 and not being able to quite pull into Vertinsky and snag the kill. I believe we keep Loco for a long time. I know that for a fact. It's going to be Kibbles and Lawman here that are going to go through the first exchanges. I think Lawman is just slightly degraded SA. He's not able to pick up Mickey here. And from 5 miles in a turn, you're not going to really be able to escape the AMRAAM. You're going to need to go ahead and try and notch that one. It's very close regardless, but he is going to get caught by that. Kibbles, I believe, is the next one to go down, and he is in a world of pain because he's getting pinched here by Rick and Altricio. And he is just going to go ahead and go down to Altricio. Rick's going to go ahead and defend a missile that doesn't actually come, and that actually sort of starts to loop him around the backside anyway. So now we have the wonderful defensive show from Loco that then precedes that. And this little first merge, this was very interesting because I'm not sure if Vertinsky lost him because the terrain is it's not perfectly flat, so he's going to dip below just slightly. And it does get a little bit difficult to spot these guys. Remember, there are trees out here too, so there can be trees and such in the way. But Vertinsky does just decide he's out of there. He just zooms out and leaves that fight. They have missiles left, so they don't want to force the merge, and they definitely don't want to team kill each other in the merge. So they just try and put missiles onto Loco without being in any situation to cause a friendly fire. However, Loco does a fantastic job of avoiding those missiles. I'm going to say it again. I would like to have seen 2 Cobra guys take 2 off-angle shots at a similar range from different altitudes, or not different altitudes, but a similar altitude to basically make it so he can just notch
Yep.
the single ones individually.
Two angles are going to hurt the notch because you got to make a decision.
Yeah, you're gonna have essentially to turn cold, or if they're staggered enough, you have to notch one, then notch the other in quick succession. So, and then eventually we're gonna get a little bit of a sniper, 2,000 feet. So, quite a little bit of a snipe there from Ritinsky, and that's gonna be us around there.
That is. So, Cookie, before we carry on, we have announcements. Well, we have news, I guess. Let's fill our viewers in on 2 exciting events that are coming up after Seytel. The first one is, of course, Sarah. I think you pronounce it differently to I do, but it's Sarah, S-A-R-H, Sarah. That's tell us a little bit about that.
So the full name is House of SAR, and it's semi-active radar homing. So only Fox 1 missiles is the sort of the vibe we get going there. So we go all Fox 1s. We're not really focused on a time frame, so we're not like limiting HMD usage, DDM sensors, things like that. We're just focused on just using the Fox 1s we have in game with the airframes that we have. this time around we're gonna be doing data link, so everyone will have link 16, and the Mirages will have TAF, and everyone's gonna have some really good pictures this time around. Last time we did no AWACS, and it was, I would say, just as interesting. But this time around, there'll be a little bit more room for bigger formations and bigger spreads, and maybe longer fights as well. So it's definitely going to be fun. The signups are posted on the Tournaments and Event section on the forums as well. I'll leave a link in here eventually, and I'll go ahead and leave a message there as well. But I do understand that there is another thing that's going on too. That's going to be a single weekend, and that gives you the chance to win, I believe, 6 South Atlantic maps. You want to tell us about that?
That's correct. I'm hosting an event, obviously in conjunction with Razbam and DCS World Events. Just to not before I go on to that, DCS World Events is going to host the House of Sarah for Cookie. It's also going to include the bubble shrinking script and lots of automation. So very much looking forward to hosting that for you. Regarding my event, it's going to be taking place on a Saturday between 5 o'clock and 9 o'clock GMT. It's a 6v6 oddball, Fox 2s and guns only. Every plane only has Fox 2s. They are only full fidelity aircraft in it, so the aircraft are limited. The weapons are limited to Fox 2s only, not 9 X-rays. They're 9 mics or lower. The objective is fun. It's my interpretation of the Halo oddball game, with carrying a ball around in an area, and you get points for kills. You get points for the longer you get to hold onto the ball. Also, we'll post the link to the signups for that in the show notes below. Exciting
chat.
stuff. Cookie, what date is your tournament starting?
So we're actually starting House of Sar on the 9th, or sorry, that is going to be the weekend of the 9th, so July 9th.
Uh, and the oddball event also takes place on the 9th. Now, Cookie
However,
and
we
I
had
got
planned for
together.
this.
We did plan for this. This was not any form of spite or anything like that. I did want to make it the weekend before, but that is the 4th of July weekend, and we would lose out on a whole bunch of Americans who like to throw their fireworks around and make noises and scare the animals, all in the name of independence, I guess. Uh, so Cookie and I did discuss the dates and that, and we are working together closely, hand in hand, to make sure that teams that fly in both events are not will be separated by a day, and we've taken that into account. So thank you for that.
Already.
Round 2.
Well, round 2, and I got it all loaded up, and we're already in the air. So let me go ahead and swap over the TAC view to the real time, and let's swap over back to DCS here. Back to DCS, and let's get it going.
That's right, Anomaly. We were lucky enough to have an Eagle Dynamics team taking part in Oddball this year.
That is very unique indeed, and I think it's the first ED team to compete anywhere, which is nice.
Very excited about that.
Really nice
Super
to see that
excited
sort of
about
support coming through. Alrighty, mouse is good. All right, we're good to go here. So, I believe we have the same pilots line up on both sides, and we do. Rick Ratinsky, Electricio, Mickey versus Loman, Kibbles, Loco, and Anubis in round 2. If anybody has any bets, you could place your bets in the chat. I'm not sure if we're doing predictions still or not. It's kind of hard to keep track of everything at the same time. But yeah. So if you who do you think is going to win this round? The Eagle or the team with more 16s?
We
I do
flew
love the Eagle.
in my first competitive team with GR. We flew the Eagles, and I got to say I miss flying them. In fact, this Monday we flew in a GR mission with Eagles, Penguin, and Senora and myself. It was just like old times. Great fun to be back in the Mickey Mouse plane, which I love so much.
Yep, everyone loves the good old eagle. I'm not sure if anybody doesn't like the eagle. If anyone doesn't like the eagle, say it now.
Nobody could not like the eagle.
Exactly. It's actually impossible.
Looking forward to the new one as well.
Oh yeah, the fancy eagle with an extra person in the back.
Ah, the two-seater.
Do people actually like having a second person in their plane? I'm not sure. Maybe in the
Extra
Tomcat.
set of eyes, extra set of eyes. I think is wonderful. I'm excited about bringing it into competition because in terms of disconnects and things like that, the pilot would be able to reconnect and get back into his aircraft while the Wizzo continues the fight, provided he stays alive, of course. So yeah, I can't get my kids or my wife to be in the back seat, but as long as I give them a little bit of basic fly cold, don't fly out the bubble, don't die. I'll be back soon.
I'm really excited for a full fidelity F-15. It's going to be amazing, and I'm sure Raspberry will deliver. The Mirage is in a fantastic state. So I have very high hopes. The level of sensor modeling on the Mirage is unparalleled almost. The only thing that comes close is the Tomcat, I'd say. Barrage of missiles out from Lawman, 3 Foxes, and what I assume is onto 4 Foxes now. But I assume is going to be onto all 4 Cobra members who are at about 20. So 2 at 20,000 and the other 2 at Angels 39. But Mickey, the lead there, who was about at Angels 39, is diving out now very quickly with a sense of urgency.
Um, 10 years ago, but like only 3 months for a person that joined DCS 3 months ago. So it's taken its time, but it's I think it's on our doorstep. I think it's fairly coming fairly soon, and hopefully it's going to be a kick-ass model. Uh, Navy Doc, Tomcat versus Eagle. I'm gonna put my money down on the Eagle, mate.
It depends on what type of fight, I guess.
Yeah.
But all 4 of those missiles from Lawman definitely force Cobra defensive. Let's see if they go and take advantage of that, but it's not going to be for very long. Cobra looking to go ahead and re-engage here after that initial barrage from Lawman. Lawman now down to 4 120s, launching 4 in the initial. But the good thing is that he gets to apply a bunch of pressure to Cobra, and the rest of his team gets to keep their missiles. So interesting strategy there. We'll go ahead and see how that takes advantage of. If you take a look at the initial bubble size and compare where they are. Dundee is pushing Cobra to towards their side of the bubble.
Navy Doc, do you think they came out around the same time? Air Force versus Navy. Navy Doc. Uh, we'll call it. I must change my name to Air Force. Air Bear versus Navy Doc.
Air Bear, that's a good one.
Air Bear versus Navy Doc.
120 from another 120 from Lum, the going on to El Tricio here. Not sure if it has that energy, and it's going to go ahead and hit the ground. So, regardless if it had energy or not, the ground will stop it. The ground wins every time, regardless if you're the plane, the missile, the fuel tank, whatever it may be. The ground tends to win. Lawman's just kind of in there. Lawman is really just sort of just really deep into this fight. I don't think he's gonna know that Mickey's turning hot on him. 120 out from Mickey, really close range onto Lawman. Lawman's gonna have to pop this into a notch very quickly here. 5.8 miles is that initial launch from Lawman. Lawman's gonna have to go ahead, and he's not notching. He's turning cold. He might barely have the energy. Might barely have the terrain. Not quite sure. You can take a look really quickly. Does actually have the eagle is just a monster, so he's got the energy to get out of there. 120 on the Mickey. 120 does not want to touch Mickey.
How do you nerf the ground? I don't understand.
Can't nerf the ground. It's too good.
Some water?
I don't know. I feel like water's worse.
Wet though.
It's true. El Tricio now turning in hot onto Lawman. Lawman, unbeknownst to El Tricio's positioning, very very close. You could toss a rock between the two. Are they flying formation together? Are you? Is it one of those? It's one of those. They're
Very,
flying
very
formation
close.
together. 120 from Lawman out in the Mickey. Mickey's got a missile from his 6 o'clock and his 3 o'clock. That's not going to be too good for him there.
Good missile. Is it tracking? Is it
No,
tracking? No.
nope.
Oh, it reacquired. Yes, it took. Oh,
That's very disappointing. That's actually really sad. It was a very, very well coordinated launch from Dundee, and unfortunately, they're not rewarded with the kill there. I really think that was deserved, but unfortunately, they do lose two in that exchange there. At the end of it, we're gonna go ahead and padlock on the kibbles here, so you can guys me in the fight on the tack view there. Loco, let's see if Loco can put on another defensive performance here. Still got his center line bag attached. Negative. Not going to work. Okay. Kibbles, you're up. You're going to have to do the amazing defensive performance this time, but you're actually going to have to kill 4. So 4 versus 1. Dundee. With this single remaining aircraft versus 4 Cobra aircraft. This time, Cobra, I believe, has plenty more missiles to go. Kibbles recommitting into a missile.
Kibbles on 2. Oops.
He does get a missile out, but it is unfortunately a dud and is flying out into the sunset to eventually rejoin the squirrels.
Very, very unfortunate there for Dundee. Well done, Cobra. A dominating match there, it appeared, unfortunately. Probably not Dundee's day. I've seen a couple of Dundee's fights, and they certainly had some amazing fights this season. Thank you so much for taking part in it. Unfortunately, no prizes for second place. But Cobra, you are through to the finals. Congratulations. And for your first ATAL, that is a marvelous achievement, as is reaching the semifinals that Dundee did too.
Absolutely. I really, really, really liked the level of Cobra flying. I think it was very well deserved from them, honestly. Decision making was really good. The recommits were all really good. They made sure they regained their altitude. They defended all the Dundee missiles to 100% success. Not a single missile connected onto any of the Cobra members. Their choices in the first round not to sort of just like bunch up and just try and pile on onto that last Dundee member there was huge. Loco was that last Dundee member, so not to pile on the Dundee there or not to pile on the Loco there and get caught up and maybe get a team kill because somebody's shooting a missile into the merge. All that stuff was really, really good. I think the level of flying from Cobra was nice to see. It was a very good quality, I'd say.
Absolutely. No, again, well done to both teams. And Cookie, thank you so much for streaming. Oh, we must do the tack view.
We will do
Here I am trying to wind this up, but yeah, you send me the.
I did give you the links for both.
I don't know what to. No, I don't know how to put them in. You put them in.
No, right.
Do I have to click the sword? What does this kick all people out mean?
No, that's not the right button. That is indeed the wrong button, but I will give you guys the links to both of the competitions that we spoke of prior to the second round commencing. And we'll go ahead and do a little bit of a tack for your debrief. The first one's going to be SAR. The second one is the Audible events. So you have a little bit of a league, which is double elimination. The SAR league is a double elim game. So you're not just one and done there. You do get a second chance. So it's going to be a great time. There's going to be plenty of teams signed up already, and we're welcome to get many more. And then as well as the Audible event, it's on July 9th. That's going to be a fun little weekend that you guys can enjoy there. Lighthearted, but also prizes involved. So should be a blast. But we'll go ahead and take a look at this tack really, really quickly here. I don't know if there's too much I want to break down this first time. I mean, this is the Lawman quad shot. Did put a good amount of pressure onto Mickey. It kept Rick out of the fight as well. Now the group over here didn't really
full screen
respect it as well. Yeah, there we go. Didn't really respect it as well. Let me actually go back here. So yeah, the quad shot from Lawman there. These guys didn't quite respect it as well. I mean, this one here didn't even track properly. But it did give him a lot of pressure. It did give him quite a bit of space. Lawman it was putting out some pretty I'd say kinematically good AMRAMs out onto Cobra, but the notching is definitely very good from Cobra, so you're gonna have to do more than that. Here is interesting because these guys are almost less than a mile away from each other, and this is where
Oh,
you sort of have a eagle weakness where you don't have the data link. Obviously, Anubis was painting him with Link 16 and with his radar, so that would have been transmitted via Link 16 if it was in a 16 or a Hornet, and he would have known for sure that this guy was here. Um, so sorry about that. So yeah, a little bit of a SA thing. I mean, it happens. It's common. I mean, we saw it in SAR too last season with especially with no data link, how that kind of goes. So to see an aircraft with no data links get merged with an enemy and not notice it and be target fixated is common. Here was the missiles that I thought were good. That one, I mean, on the it gets so close that the tag few registers a hit, but obviously we knew it didn't hit. And then the Kibbles one I think is gonna run out of energy. No, the Kibbles one, I think it's tough because I don't know when exactly the AMRAM is gonna quote unquote stall, but I'm not sure if it had the energy to quite make it there. But Lawman probably survives if he doesn't continue chasing here. He can just sort of like there is a time to be super aggressive, and I did like this play, but I think that there's a time where, like I said earlier, you need to reset the fight and sort of get your bearings back and get back into the fight really because he's chasing. He's not really in the fight. He put out a missile that's not going to hit, but then he ends up getting himself killed. Nubis is probably just too high here. Fairly close, 4 miles. It's just way too high. Ratinsky's going to go ahead and just look up and shoot him. It's AWACS, so it's not like you can really climb above your opponent here. They will know you're doing it, so a little bit high there. So that's how you lose 2 of the Dundee members there. Kibbles trying his best here, just trying to figure out who's actually committing into him. And he's going to recommit head on into a Ratinsky 120. Really tough spot to be in, and then Loco here is just gonna be overwhelmed. Really, not much left that he can do. But yeah, I mean that was an amazing showing from both matches today. I think from both a lot of teams showed a lot of really nice levels of performance from all the teams really. And I was happy to host them as well. I'm happy that I could step in and help. While Coyote's recovering from his second stint of COVID, but if that's all, I don't have really anything else to say. Bear, do you have anything else to add?
no, thank you again for everything that you put in. I appreciate it very much, and sort of the viewers obviously thank you for tuning in at this bizarre hour. It's what 18 minutes to 2 a.m. for me here in Brussels, and a glorious windy day where Cookie is.
Yes, yes, indeed. It's nearly 7 p.m. for me. So
There,
definitely well into the
there you go.
afternoon here.
Good. Thank you for watching, guys. We'll see you soon.
Alrighty, guys. Take care. Stay square. Okay, goodbye.